Action! Hey guys, welcome back to SR Auto Group's YouTube channel. Today we are going to do what you guys have asked me for the most. We are going to take the Ferrari F40 out for a spin, and I'm just going to show you a quick bunch of quirks about it and regular stuff. Most of the stuff you've actually seen before on many other videos. I'm just going to take it out and mess around with it a bit and have fun with it for you guys on the channel. First thing we got to do though is we got to move all these cars just to get the F40 outside, but it's a nice day, so let's get to it. Come on. So we're in the back of the shop. We're not going to take it out yet because it's starting to rain a little bit, but we will later in the video. So what we're looking at is a Ferrari F40. It's a 1991 model, US spec. So there's only 213 of these made for US North American standards, and the rest of the 1300 or so were made for European spec. There are some differences. Mainly the US cars had metal fuel tanks and the European ones had fuel bladders. We'll get to that later in the thing. Let me show you the motor. So it's a 2.9 liter twin turbo V8 that's in this thing. Produces about 471 horsepower in Europe, about 477 horsepower in the US. Let me open the back up and I'll show you. So we're at the back. Rami's gonna help me open the thing. So you take out these two latches and you gotta lift it properly from here so you don't break anything. Ready, Rami? 1, 2. Okay, it's really heavy. You gotta lift. Okay, as we hold it up like this, there's this guy right here. Come on, there it is. There it is. And then we gotta slide it up. I would have gotten a new one of these if one of my friends had ordered it for me. And there you go. Okay. So like I said, 2.9 liter V8 twin turbo, way ahead of its time using twin turbos. Ferrari killed it with this car. Again, 471 horsepower in Europe, 477 in North America. You got the intercoolers on top, the wastegate blow off valve exhaust, set trap oil coolers on both sides. And the coolest part about this car were these tires that were made specifically for this car. They're P0 asymmetricals, and crazy fact is that I bought these tires brand new 10 months ago. So they still make them for this car specifically. Look at this tread pattern. You're never gonna see something like that again. It's absolutely beautiful. It's old school, but it's something you wanna see. It's really, really neat. Koni suspension. So in North America, the suspension was not adjustable. In the rest of the world, ROW, you got an adjustable suspension with the car. So other cool things about this car, the back end goes up like that. The front end goes up cantilever style as well. So there's two of these latches. I've already opened them to make life easy. And we're gonna lift it. Well, you got the camera, you'll lift this side, and I will lift this side. Ready? 1, 2, go. And there you go. So the cool thing about the F40 is it was made of a carbon Kevlar material. They didn't really do thick paint, so you can actually see in the paint the carbon, the Kevlar material. If an F40 doesn't have this material, if you can't see it through the paint, that means it's been painted. That means it's not an original car. It's one of the cool things that people look for to see if the car is true to originality or not. It's such a cool material. Obviously they've moved on to carbon fiber and a stronger, more durable material nowadays, but this was just cool in the sense because it was everywhere. They had done it everywhere. So Rosso Corsa, racing red, right there, hasn't changed. This one has the F40 luggage that not a lot of cars had, or if they did, somebody kept it. You had the racing luggage, you could just take that out. Put it right there. You got the battery and you got the tow hook and the belts that come with it. I also do have the toolkit and the books and the Ferrari Classic A certification. That's in a different place. I don't usually keep it with the car. But the front end is just, oh, look at this. It's 2 wires holding it on two rods here. I could have this off in 10-15 minutes if I really wanted to. Really neat stuff. All this looks like it's old and used, but it's actually waterproofing from the factory. It's just cool old design technology, but it's so old school that literally it's a race car. Everything can come off quickly to get to whatever you need to. Let it be the suspension, let it be the radiators, let it be the headlights, what have you. If you need to get to it, you can get it fast. And this was mainly for racing back in the day, probably for the LM cars and the LM GT cars. Other than that, the front end is pretty simple. Why don't we move on to, let's say, the interior for now. One thing you'll notice before I go inside is this car has a bunch of vents. Everywhere you look, it has an inlet somewhere. 1, 2, 3. There's an inlet back here. Most people don't notice the one behind the mirror. Glass it. By the way, this isn't glass, this is Lexan, before I throw you guys off in any way. They decided for weight to use Lexan here, which is much lighter back in the day. I don't know if they do that now, but it makes sense, I guess. So inside, we're going inside. Inside of the Ferrari F40, very easy. One link, just like that. You got this huge door sill that you got to get over. Again, carbon Kevlar. Door panels are carbon Kevlar. Really simple to get into. Now, the US cars, which this is one of them, have these passive restraint systems. So there was a certain law, I don't remember what year it was, but it was the early 90s where every car had to have an automatic seatbelt in the United States. So in this car, because it was a US car, it had it. Now check it out. I can get in. So this has to be connected over here. I just undid it while we were messing around earlier. So that goes here. So when you get in the car, you just got to use this belt and click it over here. So here's the weird part. Notice how the buckle is the one that's moving instead of the belt itself. It's really neat. So that goes there. And when you close the door, let me open the window.
Oh, you got the wind down window.
Yeah, I got a wind down window. So check it out. When I open this and close the door, see what the plate does. Ready? Automatic seatbelt. You like that? Only in the United States will you get something like that. Really cool. Other than that, the car is so plain. It's absolutely plain. Got a regular Momo style shifter, a Ferrari horn, you got a shift knob, couple knobs for heating and cooling, and that's it. You got your turn signal, your headlights, and really that's it. So this is the most iconic, most basic supercar you're ever gonna see. Now I think it's time to go for a ride.
Raymond, as always, cold start.
Okay, let's do this. See, everything's basic. You got your water gauge, you got your oil gauge, you got your fuel gauge, you got some vents. Literally, that's it. Your engine start button and a hazard over here, a couple more vents on the dash, and literally that is it. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to this car. It's a giant engine. Well, it's not even a big engine, it's a 2.9, but it's an engine with a body. That's it. So did you hear the turbo noise and you weren't expecting that, were you?
I love it.
It's awesome, huh? Well, that's the thing, there's no electronics, there's no comfort settings, there's no nothing. It's just a car. And that's why this car is so popular among collectors, enthusiasts, even guys that just love cars. This is the car everybody goes to, and even me. This is why this car would never leave SR showroom, because it's just so special. So one thing I didn't tell you, so the F40 was designed, it was the last car that was signed off by Enzo Ferrari. It was the last car that he actually had part in. Other thing with the F40 was the 40th anniversary for Ferrari, so hence the name Ferrari 40. Really a special car. What did you think of it? I know how I feel every time I drive it. What do you think?
I honestly love it.
Cool.
Like I love manual, the turbo. Like you can't get
all of it,
better
right?
than
Like
that.
yeah, and it's so plain and so fun, and it's just a great car. Okay, let's put it back inside. Here we go.
So what's going on here?
For some reason we lost the headlights when we came around the corner. The pop-up headlights didn't come up. I was going to show you guys, but for some reason after we closed the hood, we have no headlights. So plugs are all in, so these seem good. All the plugs are in, everything's good, the motors are there. So I have a feeling there's a switch that I might have damaged when we're opening or closing the hood. Oh well, we'll figure that out when we figure that out.
Ooh, there we go.
There you are. Okay, so we fixed it. One more time.
Yeah.
Everything works.
There's the wink.
Yep.
So Raymond,
Yes, sir.
since you guys designed wheels, you got
Yeah.
pure wheels.
Yeah.
What do you think about the design on these, the 5 spokes?
So, Speedline is the wheel manufacturer that made all the most epic wheels in that decade. So in the early 90s, they made these Speedline 5 spokes. So they're, I believe they're 3-piece wheels. They're just beautiful. They have the step lip, the multi-rivet, and the silver face, which is something I really like. I like silver face wheels. But this laser etching of the Speedline is what pretty much will tells you that it's a true wheel, and you have the Ferrari 17x8 on this. So really cool fact about Speedlines, they've made 2 of my favorite wheels ever. So one was on this car, the other one was on the 94 Porsche 911 3.6, which are also a Speedline, just in a different design. Now, really cool thing about this car is the tires. We talked about them earlier. They're P0 asymmetricals that were made specifically for the F40. I even think we can buy them right now. Phil, actually, can we still order asymmetricals?
Yeah, they're listed still on the catalog, but just back ordered. But yeah, they're still available.
What are they price-wise?
They are probably about 2,000
Like for the set?
US for the set.
What are the rears worth? I'm curious.
About 600 US.
So 600 US, but they're 335, 35, 17s. They're the most absolute weirdest size, but they just work on this car because they were literally made for this car. This car has a new set, but as you can see, like I said, the Speedlines with the P0s, it's such, I want to say old school, but it is period correct. This is the absolute perfect wheel and tire setup for this car.
So Raymond,
Yeah.
I got a challenge.
Okay,
Hope you're ready.
yeah.
Name 3 facts about this car that you haven't mentioned already.
3 facts. Okay. Gas caps. There's 2 gas caps on this car. There's one on this side, right there, and there is one on this side. Bam! That's 1. 2, the car has center lock brakes. So in the early 90s, center lock was only made for racing cars. Now we have center locks on almost every car, any GT car, any GT3 car from Porsche has it, LaFerraris have it, so on and so forth. But this was one of the early cars that had center lock. And the cool part about it is it also has this E-clip, which looks like it holds your wheel on, but really it does nothing. It just holds it so it doesn't spin back out. Without this it would work, but you just don't want it not to be there. So that's 2 facts. Number 3 fact, what do we tell you about the, I got it. So 1991 car comes with the front lip. How's that? 3rd fact. Now you guys can talk about me down in the bottom if you think my facts are wrong. They might be, actually, I don't know. This one might be, I might be stretching it a little bit. Maybe 1990 cars came with that lip too, but I'm fairly certain 91 had it. That's because my car has it right here. F40's on only one side. Do we know that? Did I mention that to you?
You did not.
Okay, so this was meant to be on the right side because the F40 was facing forward. That's 4 facts. Now you guys take whichever ones you think are true and subtract and add and whatever and make them into the 3 facts that you were trying to get me to tell you.
We'll give you a pass on that one.
Yes. In summary, today what we did is we took the F40 out for a drive. Now, I don't really drive this car so often, so I actually had quite a good time. It was a sunny day, the first time in a couple weeks in Vancouver, so we went out for a drive. Now, before I go any further in this video, I want you guys to know that I am not the be-all end-all of the Ferrari F40. I don't know all the exact stats. I don't know exactly how many were made. I don't know what condition everything is supposed to be in. All I know is that I get to show this car to you in a more relaxed way. So I'm not, if you really want facts, go Google it, go find out, go look at Doug DeMuro and see how many winglets it has or how many foot-pounds of torque the wheels have. That's not what I do here, so just keep that in mind. We had a good time today with the car. Ferrari F40, it's a 1991 US car. We've had it for about 6 years. I love this thing. Racing red, Rosso Corsa, probably one of the coolest cars we have in the showroom, and we have a lot of cool cars in the showroom. So this is one of those cars that if you ever have the money to just buy it and put it away, it's one of those really, really collectible pieces. And I always go back down to collectability. How special is the car? Do I want to keep it? What will it be worth in the future? This is the one that, yeah, they made a bunch of them, but in the future, this is gonna be the blue chip stock of the automotive world. If you can get one, get an F40. That's it for our video today, guys. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe to our video. If there's anything we're doing wrong, please tell me at the bottom of the screen in our comments. If you like what we're doing, tell me at the bottom of the screen in the comments. Sorry guys, I'm so tired. Last but not least, what do you guys want me to do in the next video? What cars do you want to see? What do you want me to do with the cars? Do you want me to work on cars more? Do you want me to mess around with driving them a bit more? Or do you just want to see what's cool about some of these more hypercar, more flashy cars? Give me a comment below. We'll see you next time on the video.